Do you know your preferred learning style? And what about the styles of your team? As a coach, and I would encourage every manager and leader to see themselves as a coach, if you want to help your people be at their best, it's critical that you understand how they best learn. See, there's no point in explaining something to someone in English if they only speak French. Or why get someone to read a book if they hate reading and instead prefer an audiobook? There are 3 types of preferred learning styles, which we have. We've got visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Your job as a coach is to identify your coachee's preferred style and to ensure that you play to this when communicating with them. So let's have a look at the styles. Visual learners tend to use phrases like, "I see what you mean," or "I get the picture," or "What's your perspective?" They prefer to watch a movie or read a book, like talking to people face to face. Sometimes forget names, but they'll remember faces. And if lost or need directions, they'll prefer to have a map. And they'll reward people with a note or a letter or a card. Visual learners will learn best by writing down key facts, by visualizing what they're learning, or creating pictures or diagrams from what they're learning. They'll use timelines for remembering dates. They like to create their own strong visual links. And using pictures and diagrams and charts and video and graphics, that's what works for the visual. Auditory learners, they tend to use phrases like, "That sounds right," or "I hear what you're saying," or "Let me listen to reason." They like listening to music or radio to relax. And they'll prefer to talk to people on the phone. They'll maybe forget faces, but they'll remember names. And if they're lost or need directions, they'd prefer to be told. And when inactive, they'll tend to talk to themselves or others. And they'll like to reward people with oral praise. The auditory learner will learn best when they are hearing things in a seminar or during a presentation or someone explaining something, when they're reading aloud to themselves, or making a recording of the key points to listen to in the car. They like to explain the subject to someone else and to use their own internal voice to verbalize what they're learning. That's how the auditory learner learns best. And then we've got the kinesthetic learners, and they tend to use phrases like, "That feels right," or "That really touched a nerve," or "Let's get a handle on this." They like to play games and do sports to relax. And if they're lost or need directions, they prefer to be shown the way. And they like to reward people with a pat on the back. They can't sit still for long periods of time. That's the kinesthetic. And the kinesthetic learner will learn best by copying demonstrations, so making models or recording information as they hear it, perhaps in a mind map, or walking around while they read, or actively underlining key points, or putting key points into index cards and maybe sorting them into an order. Basically getting physically and actively involved in their learning. So that's the kinesthetic and how they learn best. So what's your preferred learning style? And as importantly, have you identified the styles of the people that you're supporting?